Today is April 17th. There's no baseball. There continues to be no baseball. But you know what we got? We got some voicemails, and we're going to answer them as we talk Yanks. Why'd the song stop? Song stopped. Talking Yanks with old...
Recaps galore, stat line steaming hot takes.
Talking Yanks with old Jomboy and Jake. Recaps galore and weekly awards, stat lines, steaming hot takes. Your Yankees news with these two fine dudes. It's time for Talking Yanks. Talking Yanks with old Jomboy and Jake. Talking Yanks with old Jomboy and Jake.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Talkin' Yanks. My name's JOMBOY. I'm coming to you from Manhattan, and I have my good old friend and co-host Jake coming to you also from Manhattan. And in the bottom right corner, the producer, Big Baby David. He's somewhere in New Jersey. We're going to talk some Yanks. We're going to answer some voicemails. We're going to try and get through this. It's April 17th. Should be in the middle of baseball. We're not. We got all of May guaranteed no baseball. June, you can kind of guarantee it too. Maybe July. So, I'm down. Jake, how are you?
Hello, ladies. I'm okay. I've moved to the couch for this voicemail episode. Thought about grabbing a drink, didn't.
Ooh,
I
had half a gummy. So if you want to have your drink, go ahead.
Yeah, maybe I will. The problem is if I get a drink, it's going to be the dark stuff, which Noodle doesn't need to see me drinking that at this hour, but I'm doing all right. We've had a pretty busy week, which again is pretty wild, all things considered.
Yeah, man. Our schedule, I think, is busier. I was going to say than if baseball was on, but there's no way because baseball's like 4 hours of a game.
Yeah.
We work every day, but it's still very busy.
Interested to see where the voicemailers are at. It's this weird mix of trying to get some baseball stuff that kind of matters versus getting as silly as you can. So I believe in the people. I believe that we will win. And let's get it.
Hats off to Rucco. What a nice conversation.
Great guy, man. Great guy. I just when I put my phone down, the last thing I saw on Instagram was it was a quad box R2C2 picture, Rucco, CC, and Burnett, and I'm excited to listen to that. But the caption on it was just like "fantastic" by Burnett, and you could just hear Rucco saying it.
I'm excited to listen to that one too. I don't think I've really heard Burnett reflect on his time with. I've never heard him discuss it that much.
Doesn't seem like a guy the media seeks out.
No, and I wonder how honest he is with his relationship with Posada. Because remember that time when Burnett threw the pitch and then turned around to like the heavens and was like, "Why would you call that pitch?" Do you remember that?
Friends, yeah.
Yeah, they would butt their heads together with their heads. Okay, first voicemail. Looks like
Are these voicemails brought to us by anyone, Jim?
yeah, a couple people brought to you by David.
Little couple people or a couple little people?
A couple little couple people.
Little couple people.
Not a couple little people.
That we know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know all their heights and sizes, but Dave Holborn.
Oh my God.
David Holborn, thank you very much. Adam Bartel or Bartle. Nick Butler. Frank Osman. The Osman. Ozzy.
Oi.
Thank God you answered. Nick Petrick. Both his names end in CK. That's something that everyone should know.
ICK even if you wanted
ICK.
Ick.
The guy's full of icks. Anthony Dyke, John Bowen, and John Rice.
I know a John Rice. I wonder if that's my John Rice.
Those are our most recent Patreons. We thank them very much for supporting us. You know how we thank you very much for supporting us. Pandemic times, brand new company. Patreon
Just an FYI.
Yeah.
Something I've been putting off arguably between 6 months and every day. I put in my I got some Talkin Yanks / JOMBOY media gear today ordered up. So
I saw that order.
If you've been thinking about it, just know that it's gonna happen soon because you're gonna see me wearing it and you're gonna be like, "Oh my god,
how good he looks!"
Oh my god!
I saw you got some women tanks, and I was like, "Oh, he probably got those for Jess." And
okay,
I was like, no, he probably got those for himself.
No, I did actually. I got one woman's tank for Jess. And I think she's gonna like it a lot, so I'm excited for that.
That is exciting. Okay, thank you very much, Patreon. Patreon.com/TalkinYanks. Let's go to the voicemails. This one looks like it's from a foreign number, not a United States number. So be prepared for an accent, maybe.
Hey, JOMBOY and Jake. This is Chris Armstrong calling from Lima, Peru. I have a question. Let's say we play an 80-game season. What would be a good stat line in terms of for an MVP and a Cy Young winner? Enjoy and enjoy hearing you guys. Have a good day.
Peru. Lima.
Shout out.
I knew it was coming. An 80-game season, Jake. What would be a good stat line for an MVP? And I'm going to look up.
If I may.
Yeah, I'm going to look up.
Might.
If you may. I'm going to look up a guy.
Okay. James, as you know, this has been one of the more exciting things keeping me keeping me light through this dark time, is that if we get a shortened baseball season, whatever it looks like, 80 games, 100 games, 20 games, whatever, I have been watching the Taiwan baseball every morning. I wake up and watch it live, so that's fun.
You have?
Just a little bit, just to freshen up. It's like a smelling salt for me.
Okay.
Just like, oh, I'm still alive. Okay. Jim, this is actually really fun because, I mean, your instinct jumps to think of a full year's worth of stats and divide it in half. So, you know, if a Mike Trout would normally have a 9-WAR, 10-WAR type MVP season, you divide that in half and it's like, okay, 25 home runs and 60 RBIs and a 330 batting average. But because it's a smaller sample size,
my brain didn't work in that fashion at all.
Which it normally does, which is a little surprising because, I mean, quick math there. If you divide something in half, there you go. But
I was instantly thinking all the slash lines will be way higher.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get a multiplier effect because a lot of people can put together a half season. I mean, if we get a half season, you're going to have some kind of crazy numbers. You could see a 372 batting average or something you wouldn't normally see. And so that's kind of fun. The reverse side of that is you're going to have dudes finish with their worst years ever. But yeah, you could see some fun triple slashes. The batting average, on base, OPS, you could get some wild ones.
I'm cruising through Trout's first half stats in the last couple of years.
Sure.
And he doesn't have like a crazy one.
Yeah, he just happens.
I mean, he doesn't have like, but you know what the craziest first half of baseball in recent history is?
It was Barry Bonds.
No, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's very debatable, and I don't have all the information.
A shades of gray thing, yeah.
What about this first half? 329 batting average.
Okay.
448 on base percentage.
Okay.
691 slugging. Yep. 1.139 OPS. 208 total bases. 84 games played. 30 home runs. How about that 80-game sample? That'd probably get you a nice MVP.
Would love to see Judgy win it.
I mean, dude, that first half of Judge is crazy. Granted, pitchers were still pitching to him as if he was a 7-hole hitter and not a behemoth of a man. But yeah, my brain jumps that the MVP for the shortened season. Obviously, the counting numbers won't be there, but I think the race opens to way more contenders, almost anyone, and the slash lines can be crazy. Like you can have a 3. Is there like does Baseball Reference have an on this date? Like,
oh, there's probably a way to sort it. X
we need
amount
Katie
of games
Sharp
or something.
We need Katie to get on it.
I've got a quick solution and something that I can try to distract people with and see how well. We should get Katie on soon, anyways. I'm missing Katie Sharp. Miss you, girl. Let's see if I can get there. Well, the example I was going to use, which is an MVP level, but is something from recent Yankee memory. I mean, Aaron Hicks, his first half in 2017, it's not MVP level, but he hit 298. He had a 400 on base percentage, and he was like a special center fielder. So you're going to see some guys have half seasons like that. Jim, I need you to distract and think of cool things to say while I try to get to where I want to get to.
Damn, because I'm trying to get to somewhere as well. What I'm doing, I'll just tell people what I'm doing. I'm going to the Yankees schedule, and I'm going to find game 82, and then I'm going to
find some stats. I like that.
I'm going to go to the box score, and you can see people's season stats. So DJ LeMahieu on the 80th game of the season had a 345 batting average with a 392 on base percentage. Aaron Judge had a 420 on base percentage. They're all pretty good.
Sorry.
It's okay.
It is pretty good.
So that's pretty good. So I think you're going to see probably like a 3, and that's just the Yankees. So I think a 350 batting average, like 430 on base percentage situation with 25 homers. Some dude can do that for 80 games. So
the numbers will be a little silly.
Did I kill enough time for you?
Yeah, I might have to circle back on it. It's not going to be as easy as I thought it was, but
okay. And then Cy Young numbers. I mean, again, this is a Yankees podcast, so let's just go to Luis Severino's first half of 2018.
Sure.
Remember that shit?
Yeah.
Remember that guy? He was fucking good. I mean, his first 18 games, right up until the All-Star break, he had a 1.98 ERA.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it leaves our Yankee realm, but how about Jack Flaherty's second half last year? He was like,
boy.
I think he had a 0.81 or 82 ERA for like his final 12 starts or something silly. So yeah, I mean, someone can do that, and it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, our pitcher stretched out. What does that look like? But
Jack Flaherty's second half, 0.93 ERA in 16 games started.
Get to see some fun stats.
Thank you, Chris from Peru, for the conversation.
Yeah.
Hey, John Boy and Jake. It's Gary calling from Frederick, Maryland. Been a Yankees fan for about 16 years. Recently converted my fiance from a Pirates fan to a Yankees fan. Go Yanks. Yeah, I just wanted to call as a new caller to let you know / ask. Moving to Boston, provided that the coronavirus dies down, probably late summer. Just wanted to ask you guys your opinion on some advice for a Yankees fan living in Boston. Go Yanks.
You know what's funny? You know, I've always told you that Google Voice translates the voicemails.
Sure.
They translated the "Go Yanks" at the end of his voicemail to "Oh yikes." So I was expecting him to be like, just wanted to ask you guys your opinion on some advice for Yankees fans living in Boston. Oh yikes. Because that's what Google Translate. But instead he threw a "Go Yanks" out, which is much better. I've never been a Yankees fan living in Boston, visited Boston. Jake's visited Boston more than I have. I don't have anything against the city besides Gary, don't try to even attempt to drive in like Boston proper, because it's the worst mapped out city of roads ever put together. So don't try to drive. But I mean, Boston's a nice city. It's a nice place. It's a cool, quaint little small city. So I think you and the missus, new Yankee fan, will have a fantastic time. And you get 9 games a year where the Yankees come into town.
Love the city of Boston. It's all about, I mean, it comes back to people and knowing people. You're gonna get some friendly FUs. When you get a not so friendly one, you got to know that they're the bad guy, and you can't lean into that. So you kind of got to read off people a little bit. I've got my classic New England Patriots Broncos game where I wore a Broncos jersey at the tailgate. Someone threw it in the fire. Turned out he was the bad guy because he threw my Broncos jersey in fire. He's like, dude, you didn't grab it. I was like, yeah, because you were being a fucking asshole.
You threw it in the fire.
So you have to know. And yeah, that guy had his tail between his legs.
Dude, it's funny that happened to both of us. Because whenever you share it, I share my story. This girl in high school threw my sweater in the garbage, and I didn't get it out. Same exact thing. So we're very similar people, but like we both just made them feel bad for being assholes instead of going and getting it like little bitches.
Yeah. So you got to know the line. And then my follow up in the bathroom at that same game, someone was giving me shit in the bathroom to a fair, slightly over the top degree. And then my buddy says, oh, yeah, and he's a Yankees fan, too. Place went silent. I thought I was going to have to bite the toilet or something. And then he said, just kidding. So that was a scary moment, good times. But, yeah, Boston's an awesome city. Good slice, good town.
Slice ain't great, but
it's edible.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, guys, it's Aidan, the Transistor Radio Kid. I thought of a crackpot idea at a quarantine. So I was thinking, obviously, for next year, for the All-Star game, instead of doing the boring celebrity softball that no one cares about, do like a 3-on-3 wiffle ball tournament where like the players can like choose their own team. So like Judge can play with Snell and the third person I can't think of. Just wanted to get your thoughts on the idea. Have a good day. Thanks.
Man, I think I don't remember the transistor radio thing, but did he call in from a transistor radio? I forget what he was saying.
Could have been.
BBD, do you remember what that's about?
I remember that exists, but I don't
Me too.
remember what the exact thing is. I remember there being a transistor radio thing.
Yeah, I remember that. The celebrity softball game used to be so entertaining. I agree with Aidan that it sucks now. But I used to love the celebrity softball game around the All-Star game when Kenny Mayne was on the mic and they had actual celebrities that I cared about. Like I thoroughly enjoyed that. So to hear Aidan say like no one cares about it, which I think he's correct. I think it's kind of boring now. But it used to be awesome.
For me, it's one inning. You kind of want to see what celebrities are there. You want to see their first swing. You want to see if the ex-major leaguer bombs one just for funsies. But then you watch an inning or a half inning and you're like, oh, I'm watching people play softball.
Why don't they do Old Timers Day at the All-Star game for like it's just a quick 2-inning or 3-inning over 50? And they get players, and then because what I don't like about celebrity softball is like the bases are in, the home run is in. But what I love about Old Timers Day is that when Paul O'Neill hit that home run, or Tino hit that home run, it was a legit home run. I think it would be awesome to see 50-year-olds still pitching and hitting like the Yankee fans get to see for Old Timers Day. Do that for the All-Star game and just get old All-Stars.
Hey, I hear you barking, Big Daddy. I think I'd be more tuned into that than Celebrity All-Star Game.
For sure.
So I Googled best first half MLB performances, and I have some stuff.
Okay.
Vida Blue, 1971. He was 17-3 heading into the All-Star break. I know records don't matter that much anymore, but that's still pretty wild.
It's good. I mean, what was Cole 16-0 the second half last year?
Something like that. Barry Bonds obviously has a crazy one. Frank Thomas had a 1.3 OPS after 96 games in the first half. So, yeah, I mean, it keeps the doors open to something pretty silly. I feel like a couple of the guys, I mean, didn't Tony Gwynn and Larry Walker approach like 400 at different points in their careers? Like, that would be a wild one.
Yeah, that would be.
Such an asterisk.
Yeah. And to finish Aidan's call, I'd be less interested in wiffle ball than I am celebrity softball. Watching people play wiffle ball does absolutely nothing for me, and I love playing versions of wiffle ball.
Interesting.
Even when people send me those trick shots, like
you don't think there's a chance you'd like it more than softball?
No, I don't think I'd watch. Like, I have no interest in that.
But I mean, you don't have interest in the softball right now either, too, right?
I still watch it. Because part of my youth says you used to really like this, so give it a shot.
Okay.
And then usually I bow out. That's how I know it's not good anymore. But I don't like watching wiffle ball. I tried to like make a breakdown of one of those wiffle ball leagues, you know? It's one of those things where like this looks like a blast to play. I have no interest in watching it because it's like magic. You know, you watch like Dallas Braden throw that blitz ball and you're like, it's not a competitive. Yeah. It's just like it's too whatever.
Blitzball's a little different. That shit does different stuff.
Oh, it's magic.
I mean, if they set up a genuine wiffle ball field and maybe they did like teams of 3 that played each other or something, I don't know. It could be something. I'm not going to rule it out. But.
Like Trevor Bauer and all of them just did that, and I watched and made gifs of that, but it wasn't the best. I didn't even like wiffle ball. That's why I taped up the balls so we could hit them harder and throw them faster.
It's true.
I don't know.
If I may, there's also like a non-zero chance of a guy like pulling an oblique in a wiffle ball game.
Yeah, I mean, you want to let pros
active
play.
Players can't be doing that, which is what he's asking for.
Yeah, no active player would be able to do it.
Yeah,
at all.
No, how stupid would a guy feel if he gets hurt and misses games because he was playing wiffle ball?
Mm-hmm.
David, you may not.
Okay.
So, thank you.
Next.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Pete in Richmond, Virginia. First time, long time. Kind of going a little stir crazy without baseball. So I was thinking, just kind of playing around with some ideas. And overall, how many bombs do you think John Carlo will end up with? If healthy, you think he's got a shot at the 500 club? If not, which current Yankee do you think gets the next big milestone? Hopefully it's John Carlo to 500. I'd hate to have to wait on Glaber. Anyway, stay safe, guys. Take care.
Wow. All right. Pete in Richmond, thank you. Can we get a Talkin' Yanks map of where everyone calls us from? Because it always impresses me that we get calls from all over the country. We got one from Peru today. So that's something I want to put on the list. And then we're going to have to fight for some states. Like, might be a while before we get that Wyoming call. But when it happens, the entire audience.
I got Wyoming people.
Okay. All right. What state do you think would be the toughest? Idaho? I think we've had Idaho already. Hawaii?
Might have had Idaho.
And I'm checking
Alaska.
I'm checking your area codes. You can't just call up and say it.
Yeah. Well, that's tough. I've got the Denver area code still.
Yeah, I have Connecticut.
Milestones.
Anyway,
milestones.
Yeah, it's I haven't even looked at any of that. What is Stanton at?
So looking just at names, the first one that jumped off and could probably do something cool is Aroldis Chapman. Just feels like he's been closing games for a while and could still be closing games for a while. So you could see here him getting somewhere cool, I guess.
He's got 273 saves. So, I mean, he's 27 away from 300, which is going to happen in the next full season he plays.
Yeah.
So that might be a great call, Jake.
Thank you.
Stanton's at 308.
Stanton's at 308.
You want him to get to 500? That will be... Yeah, he's got 7 years left with the Yankees.
Around where he ends up.
Yeah, I think he's going to get it. He's only 30 years old. So give him another, and he's going to be playing for a while because he's got paid to play for a while. So he can run into a few in those later years when they're really just milking the 500 club. So I'd have Stanton getting it. I mean, if he gets 25 4 years in a row, that's not even that impressive by today's standards, but that gets him there. So I think he's going to have it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it'll be helped.
My math was just terrible.
It's really bad. And it goes, it was.
It kind of goes against me.
Yes.
He would need 54 years in a row, and that would be incredibly impressive. But he's got 7 years on the deal. It's going to be close, but I think he'll get him there.
It's going to be close, and it falls into this category of, guys can be really good in this game. What Giancarlo has going for him is he got an early start. I mean, Giancarlo Stanton had, Jesus, he had 117 home runs before he turned 24. So
that's cool.
He got an early start on it. And yeah, if he stays healthy and if he could put up a couple 40 spots in there, that would help a lot to help balance out those later years. But yeah, man, it's a grueling sport. And I think excluding last year, he averaged 127 games per season and 34 home runs. So if he can do that and not miss whole years, he's got a really good chance. But
yeah,
it's a gnarly sport, man.
Tank was about to get his 100th win in 2020 as a Yankee in his final year.
Guardy's got to be coming up on some Yankee milestones.
The joke I just made only worked if you were also fully aware that Tanaka has 75 career wins, and I was saying he was a lock to get 25 wins in 2020. So it was a joke for one person, which is me.
We're starting to see your brain come apart right now.
It was a really good joke.
Between the quick math and the Tanaka to yourself joke.
The quick math was brutal, but the best thing about it is I called myself on it pretty quickly too.
I was gonna try to move past it, but I'm glad you didn't, because it was kind of tough.
It was just brutal math. I was in half. Everything was in half.
Guardy has the 8th most defensive games of active outfielders.
I think that means we should move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
What's up, JOMBOY Jake? It's Christian from Nebraska.
Check it off.
Kind of a weird question for you. If you were in charge of forming a boy band of any of the 4 current Yankees on the current 40-man roster, who would you put together? You got to consider some of the stereotypical boy band. You got your front man, you got your brooding boy. Which of the 4 would you pick? Just curious to hear your answers. I'll love to hear you guys talk about it. We're all crazy in these times. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Christian from Nebraska, who I'm guessing is another Bubak. If you call this show from Nebraska, you're related to Bubak, and that's, as firm stance as I've had on something in the last.
Yeah, when you
5
gave
minutes.
the Nebraska check after Christian,
I heard Bubak dying.
Boy,
I heard him dying inside after I said it.
Damn.
Anyway, okay. I have 2 answers that I think are musts, like absolute musts on the
Yankees.
Yankees,
have one of them too.
On the Yankees boy band situation. And then I have a third that I think's in
Tanaka.
Tanaka's an absolute must.
Tanaka's a lock. The hair.
Oh,
I guess you could spin off some K-pop type stuff.
Don't even need to. And then Glaber's my other lock.
Ooh, Glaby's the young guy. I like that.
Those are the 2, they're the 2 front men, but it's a passing of the torch situation. And then my third that I'm somewhat hard on is Gio.
Dude, I was also thinking Gio, but I have a bad twist to Gio.
You think he's going to try and steal Glaber's shine?
No, you know how there's one guy in every boy band that you're kind of like, oh, I think Gio's that guy for me. Like, I like him, but I think when you have him up there with Glaber, Tanaka, and like if our fourth is Judge or if our fourth is whoever it is, you're like, oh, Gio, okay, yeah. Like
No,
Gio
you know what he is? You
Gio
know what
never
he is?
has that moment on the song.
You know what it is, Jake? Everyone likes Gio.
Howie. He's Howie from Backstreet Boys.
I don't know the Backstreet Boys names, but everyone likes Gio. Everyone likes Gio. But if you run into someone who says Gio's their favorite, you're like, wait.
Yeah.
He's your favorite of all four?
Yeah. No, like Gio's
I
got
love
the
him.
dance
Don't get
moves.
me wrong. I like Gio. He belongs in the band, but he's your favorite?
He's got the dance moves. He's killing it with the harmonies, but like, yeah, like he's the fourth guy, and it's clear.
Yeah. I mean, who's the fourth one? Who is it? It's Tanaka, Glaber, Gio. Do you need like Voight just because you need the white buff demographic? Because I don't think he fits.
The guys that are jumping out for me are Tommy Canley, which changes the whole dynamic of the band.
I mean, that's how you break up a band instantly.
It changes the whole dynamic of the band. Judge.
Tommy Canley goes solo, and it's awful.
Because Judge still gets that heartthrob aspect. Like, he's probably not your best singer, but he's the big guy. He crushes it. Like, he's got some heartthrob aspect there. Again, it's not our persona of Brett Gardner, but if you could get real tough guy Brett Gardner, he's the bad boy of the group.
Judge is the DJ and the hype man, and I've decided that he's not
Big
in
Baby
the four.
David. I jokingly said you didn't have permission before because you always have permission. Give me the BBD boy band.
Canley did come to my mind just because I can picture him dancing.
Energy, yeah.
What Canley does. I agree that would also get the boy band to break up pretty early.
Yeah.
Everything you said, we've said collectively, I agree with.
Okay.
I don't really have a spin.
Who's a dark horse? Do we have dark horses?
Do you put a chat out there for fun?
No.
You can't.
You can't.
He can't. Oh, Higgy. Higgy's like the one that can actually play a guitar.
Higgy's the actual music
and
talent.
he comes out and plays, and the whole crowd is like, oh my God.
If we're going 5-man, I for sure have Higgy and Gio, and they're everyone's least too popular in the nicest way.
Yeah. I like that. All right, next up.
What's up, boys? It is Jordan from Boston. Not know what to do with myself with no sports, so figured I'd give you a call and give you either a Yankees question or a non-Yankees question. So, non-Yankees question or non-baseball question, I guess. If you're making your Family Feud team of 5 people, not including you guys, give me your 5 Yankees that you want representing you. Baseball question, what advantages do you think a shortened season would have for the Yankees? Gotta think they get to use the bullpen more, which is a huge strength. That way they don't get burnt out over 162. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks. Go Yanks.
All right. I will do the shortened season just to break up so we don't go boy band Family Feud back to back. The Yankees have tons of advantages from a shortened season. I mean, one, they all get to be healthy. And then with that, with Judge and Stanton and Paxton all healthy, now we have crazy depth. So if they have to play double headers, if you have to just, give guys days and rest them, and you can bring Clint up, you can bring Talkman up, you can bring 40 up, you can bring Lasagna up. Yeah.
I mean, they're there, if it's
if it's expanded rosters and all that, they're there. So the Yankees have a lot of advantage in a short season.
I mean, it's exactly what you're saying. I mean, a 7-inning doubleheader or any doubleheader, the Yankees could roll out an outfield of Stanton, Gardy, Judge, and then the next game, and let's even say Aaron Hicks could be healthy in this world. I mean, you could have Talkman, Hicks, Clint. And that's leaving out like Andujar, who looked okay out there earlier this year. And like those are 2 both like really good outfield. So the Yankees' depth would be a huge advantage. And yeah, I think that's it's funny because people like to hone in on stars, but it's kind of what we were saying before, like a Nolan Arenado or any of the great players in this game could have special seasons if it's abbreviated. And I think it's also in our Adam Ottavino interview, which if you haven't listened, go back and listen to it. But Ottavino was talking about the Dodgers when he was with the Rockies, and he was always like, we could go man to man with them, but the depth. And a lot of the great organizations in this league, you have that depth. So that's the Yanks' advantage.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, the next one, Jake, Family Feud. There's only 2 options in my head. It's the 5 starting pitchers, or it's the 5 out of the pen sans Chapman, because he doesn't hang out in the bullpen the whole game.
Right.
So Britton, Ottavino, Chad Green, Canely, Holder, those 5 peckerheads.
By the way, Sessa, a little bit of a miss on the boy band. I could see him in there. Know what it is? Once the boy band starts to unravel, Sessa replaces Gio. And you're just like, ah.
Yeah, or he replaces Tanaka when Tanaka ages out, and then nothing works.
Or Tanaka becomes like the Timberlake, and then they try to throw Sessa in there. I like that.
He is the first replacement. Great call. Also a great call by me with my Family Feud answer.
The starting pitchers is good. I mean, that's 5 on 5 right there.
Because you need a unit. I mean, the bullpen's better in my opinion. You need guys that just spend all day just bullshitting about nothing.
Yeah, that's where, and we're a couple peckerheads. I'm trying to think what's the strong Latin guy team, like Glaber, Gio, Gary, Andujar, and Sevi. Like that's a strong team. That's a strong, fun team.
Yeah.
They're dancing after each guest. They're having a blast. I like that team.
They are laughing so hard whenever someone gets a question wrong.
Oh, when there's a miss, they are killing each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. They did Family Feud. The Yankees did Family Feud with like Headley and McCann way back then.
What's would the coaches put together a pretty good squad? Booney, Timms, Harkey.
Nevin.
We don't really know Matt Blake a lot. Nevin and Matt Blake.
Oh my God. They treat Matt Blake like such shit in coaches only meetings.
Such shit.
Just like he's basically their intern. They probably don't, because everything about the Yankees is how nice they are to new people and they welcome them and everyone's got a say and all that. But it'd be so much funnier if they were just being
so mean to Matt Blake.
Yeah.
Hey guys, this is Jimmy from California. Keep seeing the Jeter flip play played a lot as we're waiting for games to come back. Question about 2 possible potential outcomes of that play. How it would have changed the legacy of that play? First, if he didn't get Giambi out, say the ball was dropped or the throw was late, would they have questioned him even being there? Or if by virtue of replay, it showed that Giambi was in fact safe. Obviously, they didn't have replay at the time in game. Would that have changed it, the legacy of it all, and in what ways? Hang up and listen. Thanks.
Thanks, Jimmy from California, for stealing my identity. I don't think, Jake, there's no negative that would have come from it. If the flip's not there in time or the replay says it's wrong, no one would be like, what was he doing there? There would still be a level of, I can't believe he was even there, but we wouldn't know about it. I would never leave that game. Like it would never be talked about again after 10 minutes of it happening. But in those 10 minutes, it would be like, that's why he was there.
It'd be an old man throwaway line. Like someone would be talking about Jeter and they'd be like, yeah, I think he's the greatest hitting shortstop the past 100 years. And then they'd be like, yeah, the advanced defensive stats, we all know those are bullshit. Jeter could pick it. I don't know if it's a Boston fan or if it's a New York fan. It's getting complicated. But they would, they'd be talking about some of Jeter's highlights. They'd be like, oh, that dive into the stand. And then it would be like the throwaway end of combo. They'd be like, oh, dude, he almost flipped it to Posada and they almost got Giambi right at the end there. Remember that? That would have been all time. So it'd just be that one throwaway line.
Yeah. Definitely wouldn't be remembered. Oh, my God. Baseball Brit just posted a picture of himself. Is this him?
That was him at age 20, yeah.
Him at age 20. That's a very London picture of him. Sorry for the podcast audience that can't see the picture, but
tough.
It's odd. Ooh, 52-second. Here we go.
What's up, guys? It's Matt from Virginia again. Quick question. I'm listening to Deep to Left with Bucky Dent, and he's interviewing Tex, and he makes a comment that makes sense in my mind, but I think there's always exceptions, especially with this Yankees team this year or last year or, whenever we're going to have a season again. He makes a comment that all the great Yankee teams that won World Series have a left-handed power. So Bucky's point is that in the 11 years since '09, there hasn't been a whole lot of left-handed power. We're a little right-handed heavy. But Judge and Stan are so good at hitting the ball the opposite way, and Glaber and Clint and all these guys. Wanted to get your read on that. Have a good one, guys.
What's thank you, Matt from Virginia. What's that saying? Causation without correlation doesn't cause causation. What's that saying?
No taxation without representation.
Fuck you, Cornwallis.
Get out of here, Brits.
We reject you. Come fight us. This is our country now. But yeah, the Stamp Act was bullshit. They later imposed it on themselves, later on.
Yeah.
And there was almost another revolt in the Appalachians. Anyway, this question, the fact that Bucky and Tex are talking about it like it's real, just need one. If Judge was a lefty and hitting the same amount of home runs, that would have done it. Probably not.
I mean, does an Aaron Hicks 30 homer season do it? Does that count?
Nothing mattered. I mean,
Now he's a switch hitter. You're an idiot.
Thank you. But no, I actually, nice, David. I won't poo-poo this because I was on the record saying this last year when things were going down. There is a certain comfort level. It was a signature of the Joe Torre Yankees. They had such good balance. Bernie was switch hitting. Tino was up there. That, I mean, 1 through 9, it seemed like every other hitter. So I do get that there's a comfort aspect to that. But you do have to, we did a great split proof episode with KT Sharp last year, second shout out. And as mentioned, I mean, those two giants literally accidentally flip balls that go out of the stadium. So, there is something to having that nice lefty at Yankee Stadium. I think there always will be. But these other guys are good.
Yeah, I'm just saying, that's not the reason. Is it nice to have lefty power? Sure.
Yeah.
Is it more just kind of happenstance that they won? Whatever. Oh, another foreign number.
Hey guys, Chris Armstrong here, calling from Lima, Peru, down in South America. I have a question for you guys. What would be a good stat line if we have an 80-game shortened season?
Same question. Cool.
Oh my God, but not the same voicemail. So Chris from Lima, Peru called in on Friday and then Wednesday. That was smart because he probably thought, oh, they're not going to answer my Friday call because it was so long ago. They once said on the podcast, if you want your question answered, call the day before. So really good job from Chris. That's how you get it done twice. Also, I didn't have anyone scan the voicemails today, so we're just playing them all.
Right.
Jimmy, Jake, this is Rick Romanelli. My question for you guys is, thinking back to the Mickey Mantle days of preparation for a season. Not quite what it is today. It was a little different. If we were back into the Mickey Mantle preparing days, would we be more apt to see some sort of a baseball season happen this year, being in the situation we're in? Do you think the training, the preparing would be a little bit more quicker to get the ball rolling for our baseball season of 2020? Love to hear your thoughts. Love the show. Keep it up. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Rick. It's kind of a tricky question. So the question is, if in the Mickey Mantle era of preparing for games? Would they be able to get a season in quicker? Because do you think the training and the preparing would be a little bit quicker to get the ball rolling? It's an interesting to tackle because Mickey Mantle's a really bad example because Mickey thought he was going to die at age 50, so he didn't take care of his body in the slightest. So then it took him like 2 hours to be able to play a game just because he had a terrible body that he abused. Athletes didn't stay in shape, though. They would go to spring training to get in shape. That's like what everyone says. They would show up out of shape, and spring training would get them into shape. If anything, players nowadays stay in shape year-round, and the only thing you need to do is get your timing right. So just need to fine-tune pitches. I think players now can be ready to play in 2 weeks. 3 weeks?
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with you, but it's all semantics. I mean, like you're saying, guys came to spring training to get in shape, and spring training has pretty much always been for the pitchers to stretch out their arms. But I think the attitude is a lot different. I think the old players, if they were a mechanic in the offseason and they said, hey, we gotta start the baseball season today, they wouldn't be like, whoa, I don't know, I'm feeling too tired. This isn't really my training regimen. The players today would say stuff like that. So I think that's the battle. Like, you're right, athletically, in theory, they should be able to, but I think attitude and what's on the line, they're not going to do it.
Yeah. I think for pitchers, it's that way. I think we'd still be surprised how many guys today have that attitude. I think there's a minority that don't. Like, the guys we've talked to on the Talkin' Baseball, like Dozier and Kipnis, those guys seems like, sure, let's fucking go. Like,
I mean, a little bit, but then I would say Luke Voigt, like he said, coming into spring training, he hadn't seen live pitching in 5 months. I mean, he hasn't seen live pitching in a month and a half now?
Yeah. Oh, they're definitely going to need a couple weeks. It's not about, yeah. I just think it's more about timing for everything.
Yeah.
Timing and stretching the arm out. I don't know if it's that much difference.
Somewhat related, not really, but fun anecdote. There's that Lindsay Adler article a few weeks back about when they restarted in 1981. And there's a fun Guidry quote where he was like, yeah, probably first time through the rotation, we'll just only throw 5 innings, but then we'll be good. Yeah. And that was what he thought all the pitchers do. It's just funny.
Yanks do that first 2 times through the rotation to open up a normal season. And then they do it throughout the entire.
They wouldn't let you go 5 now.
Yeah. All right, next up.
Hey, John Boy. Hey, Jake. Long time listener. So I'm just calling in. I want you guys to tell me where would you rank the best MVP season in the last 30 years? I have A-Rod's 2007 MVP season. He hit 143 runs, 54 home runs, 156 RBIs, 95 walks, 314 batting average. Had more home runs than Miguel Cabrera's Triple Crown season. You guys let me know, where would you rank your best MVP season ever? Okay.
Cabrera shouldn't even have won MVP in Triple Crown season. IMO. Wow. RBIs don't mean anything. Dude, I did a whole Baseball Reference deep dive yesterday, a live stream. And at the end, we were talking about how you can just walk into so many RBIs. Like Addison Russell had a 95 RBI season with a terrible slash line. Not terrible, but very, very below average slash line. So I was diving into it with people, and you go look, it was like Fowler, Schwarber, Rizzo, and Bryant were the 4 batters ahead of him, and all of their on-base percentage started with a 380 plus. It's like, yeah. So anytime Addison Russell got a hit, a run scored, but if you took away RBIs, he had a bad season.
Yes, sir. That's the RBI.
I'm starting to get pretty over RBIs. It's got to fall in line with the rest of your stats. But anyway, the question is best MVP season in the last 30 years. Do you have a Rain Man brain that has this? Because I couldn't tell you.
Not really. I mean, it's just best seasons ever, right? I mean, it would be in the last 50 years. I mean, does someone like Bonds count? I'm guessing no, because of steroids. Yeah, I don't know. the best season someone had then.
It's Bonds.
Yeah, if he counts, it's Bonds.
Bonds has the best season in all baseball, right?
I mean, yeah.
His numbers are crazy.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Illegal.
Steroids. No one else did it. Blah, blah, blah.
He bugs for
Hey,
power.
John Boy. This is Alexis from Harlem here. Yankee fan. I wanted you guys to let me know what would be the best MVP season ever on your list in the last 30 years.
Okay.
I have A-Rod.
We've done it again.
Can I think about it for a second?
We've done it again. We have another foreign number here.
Let me think about it for a second.
We have another foreign number. What if it's Peru again for a third time?
Can I give Albert Pujols a shout out real quick?
Sure. What's the numbers?
I mean, his highest WAR looks like it's a 9.7, which I mean, I think like Trout probably has beat. But people just need to remember how good Pujols won. He has 4 years with an OPS that's a 1.1.
4 years in a row?
No. But
okay.
03, 06, 08, 09, he had a 1.1 OPS.
It's crazy.
Hey, Talkin Yanks. Senator Bluto coming to you from Singapore. Any link to you guys mentioning Hank?
Singapore, BBD. Put the pin in the map on
Put
that
it on
calendar.
your map in your room.
Steinbrenner last week and him passing away 4 days later. Just curious. And also, post-quarantine, when travel opens up, any chance we get Jake's mom out to Asia? Nothing crazy, no like live bathead soup or live snakes or anything. Just let us know. Go Yanks. And thanks, Grams.
It says there's a full minute left of this voicemail, but he has stopped talking. Do you think...
Can you invite my mom to Asia?
I mean, he said, any chance we can get Jake's mom out to Asia. Voicemail's still going. He just hasn't hung up the phone yet.
Doesn't know he's hung up.
We might have something in the next 10 seconds. Who knows? But yeah, he invited your mom to Asia, said what up to my grandma, and said, let's see, he's going to hang up soon.
Okay,
he hung up. And nothing crazy when your mom goes out to Asia. And he's in Singapore. And Singapore does a lot of crazy stuff. So I'd be weary of that, Jake. I wouldn't pass that along to your mother.
I mean, I'm going to let her do what she wants, but that wasn't the best sell.
Also, he said, any link to you guys mentioning Hank Steinbrenner? It was odd.
A little weird, I'll be honest.
It was a little weird that I hadn't thought about him in years, really.
Right.
And then that happens. Boddert Meinhof phenomenon. But that's pretty sad. 60's pretty young. And I didn't know he was battling and had a bunch of health concerns. So that is sad. Thoughts to the Steinbrenner family for losing a family member.
Done.
That sucks. And then that was all, really, right? And then your mom going to Asia thing?
Yeah.
All right. Well.
John Boy, Jake, it's Greco. Bored as crap out here, man. I was watching y'all's video of the 98 World Series recap, and it reminded me of a funny story. So a friend of mine who's not a baseball fan called me one day, his wife did, and said, hey, you know who Trevor Hoffman is? I was like, yeah, of course. She said, well, he stepped on our baby's hand on an airplane flight. And I thought that was kind of funny because she didn't know who he was. But it got me thinking, who on the Yankees is most likely to accidentally step on a 2-year-old's hand on an airplane flight? Once I started thinking, I had some fun with it. It couldn't be Chapman Swag, that full ain't flying commercial. It couldn't be Judge because everyone knows who he is. He wouldn't fit on the regular plane seats, probably. I don't know. I came up with Holder because he seems just like a normal dude. Anyways, that's all I got, guys. Bored as crap. Keep it going. Let's go Yanks.
Thank you, Greco. I believe this question, Jake, is which Yankee is most likely to step on a baby's hand on an airplane?
So let me say this. I love Greco landing on Holder.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's a
Just a
lot of
normal
times
dude.
last year where I think Jonathan Holder found himself in a situation and he's like, we're really doing this? And I think stepping on a baby's hand is one of them. I think the obvious one that comes to mind is Canely.
Is
Just
dancing around
kinda
on the plane, yeah.
just being a crazy man and you clip a baby's hand. I'm going to rule out all the big guys. I think when you're a big guy, you know that you have a certain way you have to carry yourself for humanity. Because, I mean, if Judge or like CC or one of the big dudes, you clip a baby the wrong way, that's life-changing.
Yeah, I don't want to think about how, the baby's going to get hurt and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, a good story to tell. But, yeah, I'm trying to think who's a dark horse to step on a baby's hand on a plane. Ooh. I don't know. Maybe LeMahieu.
DJ, because he's in his own element.
He just looks at the baby and he's like, "You better not cry."
Or no, I think he doesn't notice because he's just got iPad in his hand watching film as he's walking.
Maybe his superpowers go to the baby or something. I don't know.
Maybe. That'd be crazy.
Haven't been in the situation.
2 more voicemails. Everyone's whooping it up here. in New York 'cause
Yeah,
it's
we've
7
got
o'clock.
Noodles whooping. We've been telling them that they've been for him.
You've been giving Noodle stolen valor of the healthcare workers.
Yeah, it's trying to keep him in line because he goes insane. So we try to calm him down and like, Noodle, they're cheering for you. It's good.
Wow.
He's kind of our healthcare worker in a way, mental health.
Be a therapist.
So.
And you're his plaything.
No, I'm not.
You're his plaything.
I'm his toy.
Yeah.
Hey, Jumbo and Jake, it's Will from Ohio.
Ohio.
I have a question here. So if they did some sort of shortened season, say in Arizona or just some other format, would there be a trade deadline a month into the season or 2 months into the season? And for players on like contract years, you can't get that great of a return from because you're only going to have that player for a few weeks or however long this shortened season would be. That's my only question for the Yankees. One other thing, there is a lot of difference in the Browns uniforms with the new ones. I'd be happy to point them out to you, and go Yankees.
All right. Well, on our daily show, JOMBOY and Jake Radio, we talked about the Browns uniforms today and how the differences were slight. Will from Ohio says we're wrong, but I think he's in a little deeper than us. As for the shortened season questions, didn't we read everywhere's a rumor and nothing has any merit but all? I thought I read somewhere that they were freeze transactions through the course of the season if it was a shortened season, which I think is actually really interesting and fun because the trades will be too easy to make. Like, I think if you have a rental that you're trading away, you have to trade him because you want something for him, but no one's going to give you anything. So then if who's a pitcher, like last year or 2 years ago, like, Cole gets traded to a contender for basically nothing just because it's a shortened season, then that really makes the season. If you're on the short end of that stick and now you have to face that team in the ALCS or something, and they got a guy for the playoffs for so little because that's what all the offers were. Is this making sense what I'm saying?
No, I think it's gummy crew right now, but I think there is some fun to the no transaction. I see what you're saying. Like, this is the team, but at the same time, like, what if all the Yankees starting pitchers went down? I bet you'd be open to them trading for a starting pitcher.
I just think that the value of the trades is going to be so little that a team could go
I think you're
trade
looking at it from the
everything.
reverse perspective. It could be a lot more. Like, what if again, this could be a really weird season. What if the Texas Rangers go gangbusters and like they actually have a chance to win the World Series, which they probably wouldn't have had this year? They could really use a guy and go out and get them and say like, hey, like we have a real chance that we never thought we were going to have before.
Yeah, but all the trades are less than already at the deadline. Like everyone always imagines giving up way more than actually gets given up. If you're trading for a guy for 1 month and one playoffs, the deals are going to be so little. Like if you want to be the team that goes in on all of the potential trade pieces to get like 2 pitchers and a bat, you could do that. If you're the one team that says, sure, we don't care, because the prices are going to be so cheap.
Yeah, I don't really get that, but I just think.
What do you mean?
I think the bigger problem is that you're going to have I think there's going to be expanded playoffs if we do play this year, and with the shortened season, you're going to have more teams in it. So whenever you would make the trade deadline, I think you're only going to have like 2 or 3 teams that would clearly be trading. So I just don't see. I don't know. I think you just pick a date and you kind of leave it as is. But I don't know. Could be a weird year.
Yeah, it would just suck if all the prices are like so far down. If you're,
what do you mean by that again? Give me one more try, because I'm not getting it.
Are you getting it, BBD? I feel like I'm making so much sense.
I understand both perspectives on. There's the argument that people wouldn't give up anything because like you're going to get them a week and then just for a playoff run, but at the same time, like when you're making a trade deadline trade, you're trading for a playoff run basically anyway. So I don't know. I could see it going both ways with that.
I just think prices are going to be down.
It doesn't change. Like if you're trading for guys that aren't rentals.
So you think players
it's still
are going to
be like the same price because it would be.
Yes.
Wouldn't that lead to more trading?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and it's like
what I've been saying.
You're saying that's bad.
Isn't that a good thing? Isn't that more fun? Isn't that a shortened season? Isn't that everything this should be about?
I'm saying if you are on the other end of it and you have to face a team in the ALCS and their pitching staff is now 2 out of 3 of them, they just traded for it at the deadline because prices were so much cheaper, that would suck. Why even
I just
play
don't
the
think
season?
the prices would be cheaper. I think you could. It'll just be like another trade deadline. You could go out and get those guys too if you want to trade the prospects.
You don't
like. I think the Texas Rangers might give a prospect away that they wouldn't have traded before and pay more because they have a real shot instead of them being like, well, maybe we could sneak in as this last wild card team when this year, like, whoa, they might get in.
I think it's going to be like prices are already so cheap at the deadline in comparison. Like they're going down every year that they'll just go down more because teams will be like, I'm only getting him for a month. I'm not going to give you what I would have given to you last year for 3 months.
I mean, I see what you're saying, but you can also have a better chance to win the World Series than you would before.
Yeah.
There's also an argument for like every game mattering more because less of them.
Yeah, I mean, and in theory, that stuff translates perfectly. Every game is just 2 games.
And I think we'd get so many trades like the Mets and the Reds last year for guys that do have a year attached, where they're like, well, we didn't give a shit about this season anyway, but let's go do some off-season move right now for next season.
I mean, those trades were kind of fun. I don't see the problem with it.
Those trades weren't fun. They sucked at the time because good players didn't go to contenders.
Well, the Mets were trying to go for it. I know it doesn't seem like that, but they were.
I know. But at the time, you and I were not a fan of those.
The Bauer one was odd. You didn't believe in it. I thought there would be a chance because of their money stuff. But, I mean, yeah, it would have been cooler if Trevor Bauer went to a team like the Dodgers. But,
yeah.
I mean, that's...
I think the idea of you play with what you have is kind of cool.
I don't disagree. I think there's a fun twist to it. I think trading potentially being more open is just as cool.
Yeah.
Hey, JOMBOY and Jay. This is Danny. I was wondering, if you were doing an episode of Baggage, which 3 Yankees would you want to do it with? Thanks. Go Yanks.
I'm a little tapped out. I don't want to do another Boy band, Family Feud. We did 2 already.
You're okay.
We'll
Whoever's
pass
got
it
the
next
best
week.
baggage.
Yeah, we'd have to make up bad backgrounds for players. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Appreciate the question. Appreciate that you're a fan of watching baggage, Danny, but that's kind of a lot not good. Hey,
Yeah,
paint this
you'd
Yankee
have
in a
to,
bad light.
it'd have to be silly baggage, which if you start going that route, it's fun. Like, maybe Zach Britton's got something like Zach Britton's, eating snake soup or something, and be like, whoa.
No way is he.
Well, I was on my ranch in Texas, and all we had was snake, so we cooked it in soup, and it's like, all right,
Snake soup.
snake soup.
Yeah, I was going to think of maybe another one since you did one, but I don't want to.
It's okay.
Because it's skeletons in your closet. If you haven't seen Watching Baggage, go watch it. It's one of our prized
Yeah, but it's supposed to be
shows.
like silly. It's supposed to be silly skeletons.
Canley would be like, I'm very loud.
I used to drink 6 Red Bulls a day. Canley might be a good one.
That's good. Tanaka, I'm intimidatingly handsome.
Yeah. Everyone tells me I should get surgery on my arm, but I was fine for 3 years.
CC Sabathia, a lot of my body parts don't work properly.
Yeah.
Okay, we did it.
Perfect. Brett Gardner, I drive with the music off.
I've driven 10 hours with the music.
I drive with the music off. What's this about? Check out Watching Baggage.
What do you got on that? Jerry's the best. He's the absolute best. I don't have the outro song. Well, maybe Zach will put it in. Otherwise, Jake will do an impression of my fine grandmother. Thank you guys very much for listening. We appreciate it. Thank you for all the calls. We checked off a lot of states and places on that map today. What's Noodle doing? Just hovering?
Yeah, he was just hovering right over me. Oh,
it's like
just
stalking.
laid down. That was nice. Yeah, alpha.
Yeah. All right, cool. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate it. We will see you on Tuesday. Go Yanks. Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.
Let's go Yankees! Let's go Yankees!